with
Wow, he
you.
really put a cunnilingus joke in the pod. Oh no. Let's do it.
Hill Kings Podcast.
Podcast.
Psych!
This ain't no
Like,
regular episode, fool.
well,
Welcome
hey,
back to the Hill Kings podcast, episode
hey, friends.
13, nephew.
13.
We did it. We did a whole season. We're re-recording this because we
Ooh,
did it once. We want to make it better, right?
yeah.
We
Hop
got to
on
make
over to
it
the
good.
Patreon to see the first
Hop on
shitty
over to the,
version.
yeah, we have a lot of episodes that we end up redoing because we're all about quality. One, we're all about quantity, and we're all about, say it with me, Chris.
Making technical mistakes.
Yeah. This
Losing data.
losing data, losing our minds. This, of course, is the Hill Kings podcast. We are going to be talking all about season one
Season 1.
as a whole, in my hole. Am I
Yes.
right?
What a hole it
Uh,
was.
how you doing, man?
Oh, pretty good, man. I got some barf down my neck today. That was fun.
You want to elaborate?
No, I was burping GH.
Gee, I love that you're going. That's Chris's kid. That's good, Hank.
Yeah, that's good, Hank. His name's Henry, but we call him Hank, so he's GH here on the pod. But yeah, just burping him and he barfed straight down my neck. I was like, oh, lovely.
Nice and warm,
I love the boy for that.
nice and
Yes.
gooey.
Mm-hmm.
You love
Yeah.
to hear it.
Mm-hmm. So I
You
got milk neck.
absolutely love to hear it. All
They
right.
call me milk
Oh,
neck.
milk neck on the pod.
But
Well,
that's not what we're here to talk about. Yeah.
I lost power for about, I don't know, like 18 hours. There's like a
Nice.
winter vortex or some shit going on
Yeah, and
here.
you had to eat one of your dogs.
No, I ate my wife.
I was like, where's the sound effect? Oh, jeez.
You know it's right there, brother.
All right. Kyle, turn this off. Ben
Uh,
shouldn't hear this.
hey, yeah, what up, nephew? How's it
Hey,
going?
hey,
How's it
nephews.
going, buddy? Uh, we're gonna talk all about season one. We're gonna recap. We're going to rank. We're gonna go over what we all talked about on the show.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Chris, I made another This Week in Arlen, but
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like a mega version of the
Uh-huh.
Bish.
Yeah.
So this, of course, is the segment of the show This Week in Arlen, where we talk about what was going on in the world on the date of the specific episode that we're talking about of King of the Hill. But as you know, we're not talking about just a specific episode this week. We're talking about the whole season.
This is
So
the kneecap episode.
I am going to cover everything that happened in between season one and season two. Because a
Dude,
lot of shit went down in the world
believe it or
during
not,
that time. So we're covering
stuff.
May of 1997 to September of 1997. Let's crack right into the bitch with movies.
Ooh.
We had a lot of good releases. We had Jurassic
Yes,
Park.
dude.
We had Hercules. We had Batman and Robin. We had Men in Black. We had George of the Jungle, Airbud, Good
Airbud.
Burger, G.I. Jane, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth style.
Hey, that's hilarious.
Tons of good
Uh,
shit.
did that Hercules animated movie? So good. It's
Yeah.
one of my faves.
There was also like the made for TV version of the Odyssey, which was fun
Oh,
and a good
interesting.
time. Yeah.
Good
And
Burger's
a
classic.
Casper movie. They just made a Good Burger too, which they shouldn't have
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Did you watch it?
I watched some of it and I had to
Oh,
turn it
okay.
off. Yeah.
Nice. I love
Yeah, they
that
should hang it up.
George of the Jungle is real good.
Oh yeah, that movie was
My,
huge for me growing up.
Brad, I love Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, don't we all? Chris
Yeah.
had a D&D character that was based on
Famously.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, that Hercules, that was probably my favorite one here on this slide.
Jurassic
Peak,
Park was huge for me, man.
yeah, Jurassic Park was good.
Or that's actually Jurassic
Joey for
Park 2.
me.
It's The Lost World. It's not Jurassic Park 1.
Still good
So
though.
yeah, I guess Hercules is probably the biggest one for me too. Moving
Yeah.
right along though, music, as you can see on here, there's some major bangers. We had
Oh yeah.
Creed, we had Mo Money More Mo Problems, which was a posthumous episode by Biggie. I believe it was the first album to reach #1 posthumously, which is pretty
Interesting.
fucking crazy. OK Computer, which is like one of
Yep.
probably top 10 favorite records of all time. Dude Ranch,
Supreme.
Barbie Girl by Aqua.
Hell
We
yeah.
had some
Relevant.
insane clown posse, and they were actually dropped from their label 6 hours after this album came out because
Nice.
Christian people were so angry about it.
Hmm.
And the first
Glad
Lilith Fair,
glad that changed.
yeah. Lilith Fair was like an all lady based music festival.
Interesting.
Uh, it starred Sarah McLachlan. She started it after radio stations wouldn't feature two female artists in a row, so she was like, "Fuck y'all, we're gonna do our
Ooh,
own festival." And you had the Indigo Girls and Dido and the Cardigans and Sheryl Crow and Jewel.
nice. I
Yeah,
love Jewel.
would have been cool to be at.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving along, video games, tons of good
Heck
ones.
yeah.
X-Men: Children of the Atom. It was an arcade fighting game.
Not familiar.
Harvest Moon, which was kind of like the OG kind of Animal Crossing style
Uh-huh.
John.
Farming
Star Fox
simulator.
64,
Do a barrel roll.
GoldenEye, Dungeon Keeper, Frogger the remake for
Oh
the
my God.
PC. I
Dude,
played the
GoldenEye.
shit out.
GoldenEye was
Oh,
so good.
GoldenEye was
Still
huge
good.
for everybody. It's
Yeah,
still
we
huge.
played that in college on the 64, even still, yeah.
Yeah, I've still got it in this very room
Dun
on my
dun dun
64.
dun dun
You know,
dun 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 dun
Pierce
dun.
Brosnan,
Dun.
everyone's favorite James Bond, right?
Yeah.
In sports news, the Bulls did in fact beat the Jazz for their second in the second three-peat.
Nice.
So one more Bulls championship, which I'm sure we'll talk about a lot next
Dang.
season.
Yes.
The Red Wings swept the Flyers for their first Stanley Cup in 42 years.
Wow.
I hate both of these teams, but good for
Really?
them, I guess. Yes, they're probably my two least favorite teams in all of sports.
Okay.
If you're a Flyers fan or a Red Wings fan, respect, I guess, but eat my butt.
We can still be friends, but Brad doesn't like you.
Yeah, I don't like you. Harry Potter came out in
Ooh.
London. First one. We love J.K. Rowling, right?
We love some of her art, yes.
And we
There was
separate
a
it. We
there was a
separate the art from the artist,
some
actually.
sometimes we do. We were actually watching a bunch of Harry Potter today because they just be running marathons in the
Mm,
winter of Harry Potter. So we watched number 2 and number 3.
nice.
Yeah.
That's the Prisoner of Azkaban and the
Yes.
chamber, Harry's little chamber, I think is what it's called. The second one, right? His
Yeah,
little hairy chamber.
that's the English title. Yeah, that's not the American title.
But also in book news, fucking Captain Underpants, the very
Dude,
first one came out. I
I love
remember
I
getting
loved
this book.
these.
The little
God.
things where you'd flip between the pages, it'd
Yes.
make like a little animation.
Yeah.
Genius. I would
Dude,
always accidentally rip the bish.
we have we have some Dave Pilkey children's books in our nursery. Somebody gifted us a couple of, yeah,
Mm,
one's about some dogs wearing a sweater. Super cute.
wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
Shout out Dave Pilkey.
Shout out to the
Unless
Pilk man.
unless he's problematic. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, man. Fucking everybody is nowadays.
Especially
Nobody's
you.
good, especially
S-
yeah. Whenever
For
stuff
your
comes out about whenever we get canceled for the first time,
it's
because
all
of
right
that,
in front of you,
because
folks.
of that pussy eating joke I just made. Moving on, Into Thin Air came out, the Krakauer book,
Yes.
describing the Everest expedition 1996.
Hmm.
So came around with the bitch pretty quick. Came out in
Yes.
1997. Damn.
Yeah, Krakauer was on that expedition, so it's really a firsthand account. He was one of the only survivors of that particular tragedy. It's a very moving book. They made a movie adaptation of it. I love Krakauer. All his
Yeah,
stuff is
it's
great.
good.
Yeah.
Solid. It's good. I also just watched that Society of the Snow movie. Have you seen
Oh
that
yeah.
yet? It's
Uh-uh.
about an Ecuadorian rugby team that their plane crashes in the Andes and
Mm.
they end up having to resort to cannibalism.
Yeah, I've heard about
And the
that, but
movie is fucking wild,
that's
dude.
called Society of the Snow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, it's great. Moving along, though, more
Mhm.
importantly, the Confederation Bridge opened in May,
Yeah.
linking New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. It's 12.9 kilometers long, the longest bridge
Whoa.
in Canada, and the longest bridge over ice-covered water in the world.
How many loonies is that long?
Oh, God. I think it's impossible to tell for sure.
Because Canadians can't do
Yeah,
math.
scholars are still trying to figure it out to this
It's a
day.
mystery. It's a mystery.
This stupid dickhead was found guilty. That is Timmy
Yeah,
McVimmy,
Timmy McVie.
the
Not
bombing
no shout
OKC guy.
outs. No shout outs to him.
No, he's a piece of shit, and he killed some little baby children.
He killed a lot of people,
And
yes.
Chris and I used to play Pokemon Go at the OKC bombing memorial together.
Yeah. It is a really nice memorial though. If you are ever in
It is
Oklahoma City,
nice. It is
I do
pretty.
recommend
Yeah,
checking it out.
one of the only historical things that people remember about Oklahoma City. Princess Diana was killed in August. We will talk about it in season two. We have
Yep.
already been talking about it in season two. It's kind of
Ooh, tune
all that was
in.
in the news. So tune in once we come back for season two. Tim Duncan was drafted by San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty big
Sh-
deal.
Shout out to Timmy D.
Mike Tyson got a little hungry in June.
Took a chomp, had a
He
little
bit
snack.
off Evander Holyfield's ear. In July,
Like
the
a
manga
psychopath.
of One Piece launched. Still running today. Longest running manga of all time.
I used
And
to watch a
it's
little bit of One Piece back in high school, and then I just lost it, and it's been too intimidating for me to pick
yeah,
back up.
it's a lot for the TV show, but there's even more for the manga. Like
I
I don't
know.
think the TV show has
I
come
can't
close to
read,
catching
so
up. And you can't read also. That famously, yeah, Chris cannot read. But he can watch South Park. And it did air in August.
dang,
Season
97 was
one.
it. 97 was a great
It
year for
really
cartoons coming
was
out.
for a lot of stuff, for video games, for movies, for just pop culture happenings. People are still fucking talking about Princess Diana getting murked,
Yeah.
getting
And we're
merkled.
still waiting for that Beanie Baby to go up in value.
I'm pretty sure it's worth quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I think Rachel has like they might have
I
two. I know.
have the
So,
platypus with the
oh
defect
yeah,
on it. Yeah, shit's worth
nice.
like 25 bands.
Hell yeah. So if anybody wants to buy some Beanie Babies, hop into our
Yeah,
DMs.
hit us up.
We got you.
I'm willing to sell to the right buyer. Netflix was founded in August of 1997 too
Whoa.
by Reed Hastings. That guy.
Wow. All the
Uh,
DVDs you want for $22 a month.
you can, I mean, that sounds like a lot, but
I feel like
sure.
that was a lot for the 90s
Yeah, right.
for a subscription in the 90s.
$22 a month. Shit.
Yeah.
Huh. We did use the fuck out of Netflix, but later, I feel like it didn't become popular until like 2006, 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
The VMAs happened in September. U2, Spice Girls, Beck, Foo Fighters, they all performed. They all won
Wow.
some shit. That's pretty cool. The Emmy Awards happened. You can see a couple photos from them here. We got Demi Moore and Bruce Willis together,
Yeah.
G.I. Jane style. Google.com was registered as a domain name in September of 1997.
Whoa.
So think about how much that changed the world, boys and
Hmm.
girls.
Little thing
Uh,
called Google. Ever heard of it? Why
Google
don't
it if you
why
don't
don't you ask
know.
Jeeves about it?
Hey, that's really good, dude.
Thanks. That was a recycled joke from our first our first take of this.
Yeah, Jeff Buckley tragically also passed. He did drown in August of 97. Rest in peace to him. And Jeannie Calment died at 100. You know, I can't do it this week in Ireland without talking about someone dying.
Of course
She was
not.
122. She was the oldest living recorded person, and she died in August. So she did not get to see the season premiere of season 2 of King of the Hill. And I'm
Damn.
sure that she was waiting for it.
Yeah.
So pour one out for Jeannie and pour one out for
Comment.
that goddamn segment, Chris,
Hey.
because that was this week in Arlen. We're just gonna barrel right in to our next segmente.
Straight into it, baby. Shine,
Shining,
shimmering,
shimmering,
screen time.
screen share. So this is going to be a recap of the Hill King segment. We're just gonna very quickly take a look
You
at
know, that
who
segment
we
where we
crowned. It's the titular segment of the show.
Mhm.
It's titular. So we've got to
Someone would call it
recap it.
titular.
Yeah. I can't get to my soundboard right now, so I can't boo you. And I
Oh,
really
that's
want
fine.
to.
Oh,
But we'll
the
just go
listeners are really
through
bummed.
we'll go through the Hill Kings for the season, see how it shook out, see who reigned supreme
Hmm.
Hill King wise. Starting with for you, my friend,
Hmm.
your first choice for episode 1 was Luann. You started
That's
off strong.
very fitting for this for us.
Mine was Hank,
Ah,
which looking back on all of this time, I don't think I chose Hank again, and I don't think I would.
yeah. I don't. I think you maybe did
I don't think
in
I
season
did.
two.
Oh, maybe in season 2, yeah,
Maybe in
but
season two, but
spoilers,
yeah,
Chris,
I don't
spoilers.
even know if I chose Hank. I guess we'll
Yeah.
see.
Episode 2, Square Peg. You had Peg.
Yep.
You went titular with the vitular.
I think that was the right choice.
And then I started my run of Luann. And I'm pretty sure this was just for like a throwaway joke that Luann did.
He's a Lou man.
Yeah, I'm a Lou man. I'm a Lou stan. I'm a Luaniac. We all know this. Episode 3. This is when Chris started to get weird. He
Wimitanye.
picked Wimitanye.
Wimitanye.
Wimitanye to you, my friend. I picked Bobby,
Nice.
which
Good
I thought
call
was
on
a
that
pretty
up.
solid choice for that episode. It was a very Bobby heavy episode. I
Certainly.
did I did like that episode quite a bit. It was a good one.
Order of the Straight Arrow.
Episode 4. You went Bobby.
Hank's got the willies. Yeah, it was
Hank's
Bobby
got
was the
yeah.
hero of that
It was a
episode for
good
sure.
a good Bobby heavy episode. You could have gone Hank. You could have gone Willie Nelson. Really, I thought
Yeah.
about doing Willie Nelson, but your boy also went with Bob.
Hell yeah.
So
Was
this
that our first
was
double? We both picked the
this was the
same.
first time that we picked the same Hill King in the same
Hmm.
episode, and that does not happen often.
No.
Episode 5, which was Luann's saga, you went with Boomhauer because he was a good friend and a
He was a
supportive guy, a
stand up
stand-up
gentleman in that ep.
gentleman, and he did not try to fuck Luann, which we appreciate. I
Mhm.
went with Luann,
'Cause we're
of
trying to
course,
do that. What?
because I'm trying to fuck Luann, dude. Episode 6, which was Hank's poop episode, one where Hank couldn't poop
Hank's
no more.
unmentionable problem. Yep.
You went with C. Everett Koop.
You
I
have
went
to.
I went with C. Everett Poop.
Also see every coop.
So yeah, we did choose the
Oh
same
yeah.
one, I guess, more than a few
Uh-huh.
times. Uh Obvious choice for this episode, right?
Yes. Yes, yes,
Episode
yes.
7, Westy Side Story. You went with the fucking Westy. You went
I
with
took doggy.
Doggy,
I took doggy.
another non-speaking role. But commendable nonetheless.
Doggy really drove the story.
He did. I went with Luann again because of a throwaway joke where she said uh Peggy was worried they were going to be late for getting the pizza or
Oh
something,
yeah.
and Luann said that if they're not there in 15 minutes, they get it for free.
Yeah.
Just like a dumb throwaway, and I was like, that was really
So
funny.
great. So
Yeah.
great.
Episode 8, which
Shins of the father.
of the father, you went with Dale because I think he
That's
was really
that's
only
Bill.
in.
That's Bill, you
Fuck,
idiot.
how do I always do that? I'm supposed to be an expert on this
Yeah.
shit, and I always call Bill Dale.
I'm about to
Well, you went with,
unsubscribe.
yeah, me too. You went with Bill
He was having a
'cause
fun time.
he was having a good time, and then he also got shut the fuck down by Dooley.
Yep.
Your wife left
Your
you.
wife left you.
I went with Luann.
Surprise, surprise, Luann.
She again didn't have very many lines in this one, but she stood up to Cotton
She fixed the car. She
and she
stood up to
fixed the
Cotton.
car.
She found
And
this
she
timing
didn't,
belt in the laundry. Should I wash
yeah.
it with the darks?
And she didn't really get any recognition for any of that, so I wanted to give her rightful
Yeah.
attaboy, for doing such a good job. Episode 9, which was the Boggle episode.
Peggy
That
the Boggle
one
Champ.
that one grew on me a lot. You chose Hank, even though he was kind of a piece of shit. in that
Yes.
episode.
I think I took him because he learned his lesson on his own
Yeah,
in
he
this
came
episode.
around and he actually learned a lesson and made up for it. So can appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Peggy, a titular choice and my first peg to choose because she won the boggle thing
She did.
and she had a cool jacket.
She's the bottle champ.
Episode 10, which was keeping
Keep
up with our Joneses. This
the
one I really
cigarette
liked. I liked this
cigarette
episode a
episode.
lot. I got
Hmm.
this Joe Camel hat because of that episode.
Oh, is that? I was wondering what
Yeah,
that
it's a
was.
vintage
Brad loves
vintage
cigarettes,
show.
guys.
I'm a big cigarette boy. You went
Bradley
with
says
Luann.
smoke until you choke.
I can't let you go with Luann without me going with Luann. So I went with Luann too. She really did carry this episode from a moral standpoint.
Yes.
And she is our moral queen.
The voice of reason, Luann.
Yes, the voice of reason. Episode 11, King of the Anthill, also one that I enjoyed quite a bit. You went with the
Yes.
fucking Ant Queen, which
She
may
got it.
have been the hardest I have laughed on this podcast.
She got her revenge.
Yeah,
She's in line with my
yeah,
Wimatanya pick for sure.
yeah, yeah. That might be the GOAT pick of the season. I went with Khan because he had
Just
some sick burns and a cool
absolutely
tracksuit.
roasting Hank in this episode.
Yeah, I think the reason that I picked Khan was because I didn't have one picked, and then you chose the ant, and it threw me the fuck off. And I was like, I can't beat that. I'm just gonna pick Khan because he's in my dome. And then episode 12, Plastic White Female, we both finished it strong by choosing you with Luann, me with,
Mhm.
you fucking guessed it, Luann.
Yeah.
So looking at all of these, Luann definitely has the board run. I think
She
we can.
makes she makes the most appearances as the king. I think Bobby has some good repeats.
Bobby's got 3 total.
Yeah. You picked
Luann
Luann for literally
has.
half the season.
Luann was 50% of my choices. She was also your most chosen. You had her for 3,
Yeah, they're 25%.
and she was your only repeat Hill King.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
I
So
took 3 animals.
yeah, you did.
If you count a bug as
Well,
an animal.
Wematanya isn't really. I
Yeah.
just chose the bird as a representation, but
Yeah,
you
that's
chose 2
true.
animals and a god. And
and,
Wematanya.
and another god. See Everett Koop.
But yeah, I think we can safely say that Luann comes away with the crown for Hill
Mhm.
King of the season.
Yes, I agree. She was the queen for sure.
The absolute queen. You love to hear it. You
The
love to
queen of our
see it.
hearts and minds and search bars.
Gross, man. Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Am I canceled?
Brad.
Am I canceled now? You want to hit it with a little bit of a different segment?
Another smooth transition by us. New
How do you feel-
segment time.
How do you feel about quizzes?
Oh God, I'm so underprepared.
Do you feel like getting quizzical?
Now that's your ska band, right?
Welcome. Yeah, that's my ska band. Welcome to the season 1 trivia game where I pulled together a bunch of questions and I'm gonna ask them the quiz. They're all visual based. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see them and it'll be nice and cute and fun. We'll kick it right off.
Yeah.
I have one question from every episode this season, some
Sure.
easier than others. First question, if you want to take a look at the screen down here, but Chris, you can reference on your screen. What was Bobby chopping with this here club?
So Bobby's got a golf club. He's in the backyard here, and this is from, I think Hank's got the willies, and Bobby was chipping at dog do.
That's
Yes, baby, let's
correct.
go.
Put one on the board for your boy. He's
Right.
1 for 1.
Make a tally here.
That was dog poop.
Let's go.
Question 2. What was the name of this hot med student who
Oh
saw Hank's
shoot.
bungie hole,
Oh
brother?
shoot. Okay. Yeah, she was hot. I think it's something with an S. Maybe is it Sasha?
He's going with Sasha. Do you want to lock that in as your answer?
Um, I think so.
Tasha.
Tasha.
So close, dude.
And I had the
So
Asha right.
close. The
Damn.
correct answer and the answer we were looking for was Tasha.
Damn. That was close.
Moving on to question number 3. In this image, what has our boys so shook?
Damn, this is tough because that could be literally from any episode this season. Judging based off the color and the draw lines to it, it's going to be like mid or late season because the art
Okay.
style's a little bit more
I like that
down.
line of thinking.
I think this is maybe from Westy Side Story when the Supernussenpones step out of the vehicle and the neighbors realize they're not these white guys. Is that right? Is it the super?
That's
Yes, let's go.
correct. This
Let's
would
go.
be from Westy Side Story when the Supernussenpones are
Yeah.
first introduced.
I'm
They
surprised
think
I
that
got
it's
that.
like a white family moving in, and then they
Uh-huh.
realize that it is not. Very good. You are 2 for 3. Moving on to the next question. In this image here, Chris,
Yes.
what are Hank and Peggy looking for?
So I first thought that this was, and listeners, they've got some torn up scraps of paper here with a trash can. I at first thought this was the cigarette patch thing, but I
Mhm.
think this is they're looking for the permission slip for Square Peg for the sex ed.
That's correct.
So let's go. Damn,
Killing
dude,
it, man. You're doing
crushing it,
well with
dude.
these. I should have made these bitches harder, I think.
We'll see how you do with my questions.
We'll see how you do with the next question. What's this
Yes,
fucker's name?
I already know this. So listeners, this is the Twiggy boy from the
Yeah,
pilot.
yeah, Twig
His
boy.
name is actually Anthony.
Correct.
I wrote a quiz question about him, so
Okay,
that's
all
why
right.
that's
That's
why I
the
knew
only
that
reason he's
one.
got it.
Yeah, that's
Hell
why I knew
yeah.
that one.
Moving right along. What is the name of this cigarette mascot?
Okay. So this is from the Order of the Straight and Narrow. I know the dad is Eustace because that's useless Eustace.
No,
And
you're on the wrong slide, my friend.
oh, am
Slide
I? Shit.
7 is what we're
Okay,
looking for.
shit. We're looking at
Cigarette
seven.
mascot.
Oh, Smokey? I don't know that one.
That's going to be Puffy. I'm
Puffy.
afraid
Oh,
that is
damn, dude,
incorrect.
it's even there in the image. I didn't look close
Well, I
enough.
had it
It says it
covered.
right under the filter.
I had it
Oh, I
covered by
see.
your head. Yeah, isn't that
Okay.
clever? Isn't that
Damn.
clever how I covered it up?
I see.
Tell me I'm clever.
Dude, you're a smart boy.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks.
you're a smart lad.
Thanks, man. What's this kid's name?
Okay, so back to it. The dad is Eustace. The
Yeah,
kid,
useless.
just can I consult my notes? Because I
No,
definitely have his name written
no,
down. No.
because we're
Okay.
trying to do a fucking podcast here, man.
Okay. I think it's something with the G. It might be Gene. No, that's not right.
I'll give you
I
another
don't
guess.
think I have this one.
You want to just venture a wild guess?
I definitely wrote it down and I looked at it today whenever I was making my notes. No, I don't have it. I don't got it. Samuel?
No, it is not Samuel. It is Randy.
Randy.
The boy's
Randy.
name is Randy.
I was almost gonna say Garth because I think Garth is the
There is a
the
Garth.
guitar. Yeah, he's the guitar
No,
repair shop
no,
guy's name, isn't
Garth
he?
is on the
He's on the camping trip
the
also.
order of this. He's the blonde kid
Oh,
with
he's
the
the blonde
long
one.
hair. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Dang.
did almost use Garth instead of this kid, but I was like, there's no way he's gonna know this kid's name.
Well, we had to reference Eustace.
Okay, moving on. Who is this stone cold fox?
Ooh, tall lady. Charisse. Yes, I had to
Hey.
think of the line of "What's up, Charisse? You stone cold fox."
I just remember we both liked that quote a lot. Yes,
That
it
might
is
be one of my
Charisse. I guess
favorite
she
lines.
comes back. She dates Joseph later on,
Oh,
according to
really?
my research. Yeah, for a
Interesting.
brief time.
Damn. That might
Whoa,
might have been one of my favorite lines this season was "What up, Charisse, you stone cold fox."
Bobby just risen it up.
Hell
What
yep.
were the names of Cotton's fallen comrades
Oh,
as seen in this story here?
Fatty, Stinky, and Brooklyn.
That is correct. Fatty, Stinky, and Brooklyn.
They were
He's
just
back
like
on
you
the
guys,
board.
except one of them was from Brooklyn.
Yep. Moving on. What does Bill's shirt say in the image pictured here,
Man, this is from
covered by my lovely wide ass?
this is from Peggy the Boggle Champ, where they're at the boys are at the Mower Expo. Hank's
Yes,
carrying
sir.
Peggy's purse. I think Bill's shirt says something about like my other car is a mower.
That's correct.
Let's go.
My
I wasn't
other car is a lawnmower. We are gonna
nice.
make this shirt as merch. Mark
It's
my
on,
words.
it's already on the Patreon, folks. If you can find where
No,
our
I'm actually
Patreon is at,
serious. If anyone wants one of these shirts, if I get one person who says yes, I'll make them.
he'll make
I will
200
sell
and
them. I'll
bankrupt the
make
show.
17,000 of the bitches,
I'm
all
surprised I
on
got that one, honestly.
cashmere. Yeah, that was good. Good pull. We have two questions left, Chris. Are you ready for question number
Yes.
11?
Oh
What is
man.
this boner's name?
Oh man. This is from Luann's saga. This is
Yep.
the guy who Hank
Hank,
tries
who
to
Hank wanted to fuck.
I think it's something with a T.
Okay.
Maybe Ted or Tad. It's either Ted or Tad. And I'm gonna say
Locking that
Tad.
in.
I'm gonna say
Tad.
Tad with an A.
It is Wade.
Wade.
His name is Wade. I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
You're afraid it's Wade.
Okay, final question. What
Damn.
kind of grass is my girl Luann rolling in right
Oh
here?
shit. This is oh
We
man.
did talk about it quite a bit on the
We did.
episode. We learned that it's kind of a beginner grass.
Yeah, it's something really funny. Um, it's like a two-parter name.
It's actually a three-parter name.
I'm gonna take up some time here so we can just watch Luann. Thirsty for Luann this I don't think I have this. I don't think I have this.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't think I have this is incorrect. This is Rally St. Augustine.
Rally St. Augustine. Yes, that's
Yeah,
funny. Damn.
yes. You did pretty well. You did better than I thought you were going
Yeah, I
to,
think I got what, like
actually.
5 there?
You got well, I'll put up the
5, 6.
I'll put up the score on the screen because I wasn't really keeping
Oh, sick.
track. But later me, future me, what up, dumbass, idiot? Uh,
Write this shit down.
You'll put it on the screen.
I was keeping tallies, but then I forgot to tally some. I think I at least got 5, I think.
Yeah, I think
I
you
don't know.
were around
We'll see in the future.
50%. I'll say it was a passing grade.
Yeah.
We'll see how you do on season 2 because
Let's
it's going to be
go.
double as many questions, and I will
Let's
be
go.
doing this again. Maybe I'll do this for every episode if you guys liked that.
Are you ready for the verbal questions that I have
Yes.
prepared for you, Brad?
Wait, this is the oral portion of the exam.
Huh?
All right, hit me with
Yes.
them.
Okay, so I wrote 5 questions because that's all you told me to prepare, and then you sprung this shit on me.
Yeah, you know I'm an
Um,
overachiever.
Okay. Question 1. In the pilot episode, where is Anthony Twigboy from?
Anthony Twigboy, in the pilot episode,
He is from somewhere.
he's from some like liberal. He's from Los Angeles,
He's
right?
from LA. Yes, that is correct. There you
Hey,
go. Nicely done.
I'm one for
Okay.
one.
1 for
Ho.
1. In order of the straight arrow, we get a B plot of Peggy going to buy some shoes.
Yes, yes.
Peggy uses a fake name. Do you recall
Oh,
Peggy's
Jesus.
fake name?
I don't. It was like Esperanza something, right?
It's a Spanish name for sure.
It's definitely a Spanish name.
Yeah,
I am trying to cheat right now.
Yeah. You don't got it. So
Yeah,
I'll
I
go
don't
ahead and
got
mark an
it.
X. It is Gracia Ibanez.
That's good. That's a really
Yes.
solid fake name.
Yeah. For Peggy it is.
Yeah, there's no way I was remembering that.
So next question. In Hank's Got the Willies, in the beginning, Hank is having a golf dream with
Sex
Willie
dream.
Nelson.
Yeah.
Which number dream is it?
Oh God. It was like 7.
No, incorrect. It is Willie Nelson Golf Dream number 3. It's the third.
That was close.
Yeah. Uh,
Not
I
really.
just thought it was funny he had multiples.
Yeah. Yeah, we did
Okay.
talk about that.
So I've got a Shins of the Father one. So in Shins of the Father, in Cotton's recap of how he lost his legs, he says that he beat the Japanese soldiers to death with a piece of one of his friends.
Yeah.
Which one of his
It was
friends did
Fatty.
he? It was Fatty.
Fatty got eaten by sharks. I
And
remember that.
and Fatty also helped Cotton beat those Japanese soldiers. So
Yeah,
nicely
with
done.
his
It was Fatty.
severed limb. Yeah.
Um, so my last question from Peggy the Boggle Champ. In the first Boggle session at the Elks Lodge, Peggy
Oh,
uses a female country artist's lyrics as her words. Which female country artist did Peggy use as Boggle words?
was it
This is
Patsy Cline?
It was Patsy Cline.
Let's go.
Nice,
Fuck
dude.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. There you go.
I don't know. I thought you were gonna ask me the name of the kid that she like spells the kid in the wheelchair.
Yes. Uh,
I
yeah, I can't
almost
remember.
used that too. He had like a really funny name.
Timothy something or something like that. Yeah. Nice, dude. You got
Okay.
three. You got 3 out of 5.
That's
That's a
kind of
pass.
better than you did, honestly.
Some of those were tough though. That I thought that Gracia Ibanez was good.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Damn.
Nice. Good quizzes. I think
Mm.
maybe we do this a little more often, but that
Yeah.
was the season 1 game show. Do you want to get into our final segment?
Yes, I do.
You want to do it? All right. So as you can see here, my friend, I made a tier list. We've got all 12 episodes of the season here, and we're going to do an old-fashioned YouTube style tier list of all of these, and we're going to determine what the best episode of the season really was. So we're going to
Mhm.
start it off with number 1 here, Pilot.
Pilot. Yeah, Pilot was just Pilot. This is the episode where somebody calls in a tip that Hank has been abusing Bobby. It's a whole
Yep, it was the child
misunderstanding.
abuse episode.
Yes.
And then they think that Hank is hitting his wife and that he's like a dangerous person.
Yes.
And then you've got the guy from we started talking about this in season 2, like introducing kind of like a villain
Yeah.
character, an
Mhm.
antagonist.
Like a
Pilot
single
had one.
episode villain.
Yeah,
Yep.
Twig Boy was the villain of the episode.
Yep.
I remember us liking this one quite a bit as a pilot.
Yes, I actually in my rankings here, I actually did personally drop this one down into the D range as
Oh,
a
you've already
pilot.
done this.
Yeah, yeah, I've got my notes compelled
I thought
here.
we were
I
doing it together, man.
Oh, are we? I mean, well, that's just where I'm at on it. You can tell me where you're at, but for me, I put it down into a D, like with all the other episodes in the
D.
season. If I'm
That's like a 2 Alamo beers.
Yeah, it's I don't know. For me, it was just like a little bit too on the nose. I don't know. I originally had it at a C, but I didn't give anything lower than a C, and I was like, well, something's got to get down. Um,
I am gonna cross-reference and see what we gave all of these for our
yeah, the
within
last one,
ratings, our end of
our beer
episode
cans.
ratings, our
Yeah, I
beer
was curious
cans.
about that as well. Yeah, I think in the rest within the rest of the 12, it was a little flat for me. And then I looked at the other ones that I had ranked as a C, and I was like, this one is kind of the worst of it. I didn't have anything as a D or as
Okay.
an F in my rankings. So
I don't know if I'm comfortable giving this one a D quite.
yeah, I
But
think.
when we released episode 1, we weren't doing the alley segment yet, so we did
Oh,
not have beer can.
ah,
So would you be okay with putting this between a C and a D?
yeah. I think it's a C minus. C
Okay.
minus.
It was a solid enough episode, but I agree that it wasn't like a huge standout. So
Yeah.
I'm with you there. Moving directly along, episode 2, Square Peg.
Square
So
peg.
this episode, I believe, was nominated for an Emmy.
This is the Emmy. Yep, this is one of the Emmy nods.
So that's gotta bump it quite a bit. I did enjoy this episode quite a bit as well. We said a lot on the episode that it kind of felt like a second pilot, right?
Yeah.
Looking at
This is
our alley rating, because we started doing it, I gave this one a 5.5, and you gave this one a 5 initially.
interesting.
But as if we're looking at this as an entire work, the entire season.
Yeah.
So it's not just the episode, it's how well does it fit in and how does it compare to every other episode. So we don't necessarily have to put it up at the top, but I'm
Yeah.
leaning A tier.
I see. I had it as a B. I had it as a B whenever I looked at the season as a whole. I think there's episodes that are a lot stronger than it. There is some really classic lines about it, and the hat penis
Yeah,
is
and
very
we
funny.
can readjust if we want
Yeah.
later on, but just throwing it up, maybe let's say between A
Yeah.
and B.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm cool with putting this one at a
I
B.
think
It's
I think
definitely not my
B.
favorite of the season.
No. Yeah, I
How
think B
about
is
episode
solid B.
3, West East Side? Or no,
Uh
this is Order of the
Order the
Straight Arrow.
Order the Straight Arrow.
Initial ratings for this one, you gave this a 5, and I also gave it a 5.
Yeah.
Alamo
For,
beers.
for me, this one is an A.
This is firmly A for me.
This is firmly A. I like that it has its own like theme, and it's kind of all around this scout camping trip. We get the
Hmm.
super nice Peggy's B storyline to this one.
Yeah,
So I think it's A. Its rerunability is really high. Yeah.
very true. Yeah, and the Wimitanye is such a like standout reference from the show.
Wimitanye, Wimitanye.
I'm like almost leaning towards putting this one at S,
I
but we
almost
can
put
keep
it
it
up
at
there.
A for now.
I almost put it up there too, but I've only got one as an S. We'll talk about it.
Uh, number 4, episode number 4. That's
Hank's
Hank's
got the
got the
willies.
Willies. This is the Willie Nelson episode. Initial ratings
Yes.
for this, you gave it a 3, and
Wow.
I gave it a fucking 5.
Wow.
You were not happy with this episode,
I
it
don't know
seems.
what was I thinking, because I had this one. I put it
I
as an
loved this
A.
episode. This episode's great.
I put it as an A, for me,
Yeah, I think
honestly,
this is
in my
firmly
look
in the A
back.
tier for me. This, if I
Yeah.
had to pick, like, this is probably in the top 3 episodes of the season in my mind.
It's got really good rerun ability, because I mean people will be like, "Oh, Willie Nelson," you see him on the street, like, "Oh, wow,
Yeah,
this is great." Um,
yeah.
yeah, there's a
For
lot
a
of funny.
show that is very well known for having celebrity guest stars. They started at 4 episodes in. They had fucking maybe the biggest Texas celebrity that you could possibly even pull.
Yeah.
So that's pretty tall feat, I would say.
Yeah. Big feet, would you say?
Hey,
Talk about feet again. Here we
I
are.
can't use the soundboard right now.
Here we
The
are,
clap, clap, clap,
brother.
clap, clap. Moaning sound, quack, quack. Episode numero 5. This is going to be Luann's Saga. You gave this a 2 out of 6 Alamo beers.
Yeah. This is C territory for me.
I gave it a 3.5.
Yeah.
So it's pretty mid. I would also say, but then is this episode better than the pilot? I don't think it is. I would almost say move pilot here into
Yeah.
C firmly and put this guy down in.
Either that, or I could put them both down in D,
I don't think
honestly.
the pilot's a D. It's a good episode.
I will agree with you. I don't think Luann's
And you
Saga is better than the pilot, but I don't think the pilot is better. I think they're both on the same footing for me.
I think that the pilot's a better episode than
You think
Luann's
pilot's a
Saga.
better?
Chime in the comments if you agree
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
disagree, but
Tell us where we were wildly wrong.
I mean
Uh,
it's all subjective opinion.
yeah.
But
In
if the
very,
two of
very mean
us
language.
as a unit are coming up with a consensus, what do we think? Do you think these episodes are on the same level as each other?
Ah, yeah, I think they are on the
Okay.
same level, but I
All
don't.
right.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think it's up to C. Yeah, C
I'm gonna
minus,
put the pilot slightly above.
little bit. Okay, all right,
Just a
that's
little,
fine.
but it's still like the pilot is slightly closer to C territory.
Yeah.
But Luann Saga, I would say, is like between C and a D, but I wouldn't really give it a D.
Yeah. It's a little flat.
Actually, no, fuck it. D.
Ha.
How do we feel about that?
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna fight for it to be higher.
Okay,
Certainly, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's okay. I think C
cool.
minus to D. Yeah, that's actually all right.
All right, how are we feeling about number 6? This is Hank's unmentionable problem. This is the poop episode. We did have some very good moments
This
in
is a
this
C for me.
episode. It's a
This one's a
C?
C. This one's a
For
C for me.
it's a C for C. Everett Koop.
Yes. Oh
See,
well,
Chris,
shit. I
Chris,
forgot Coop was in this.
you're showing your inconsistencies here because do you want to know what you gave this one in the alley segment?
Yeah.
You gave this a 1.
Did I really?
This may have been your lowest rating of the season.
Wow.
And it was kind
Damn.
of a soft episode.
Yeah, I do think it's better than Luann's
Unlike Hank's
Saga.
stool, am I right?
Hey. Uh, it's definitely better than Luann's Saga. I
Is
think it's
it
better than
though?
the pilot. I think so.
You gave it a 1.
Yeah, but we get the whole thing where Bobby is looking up the squirrel's butt with the flashlight.
And that
You
moves it up
forgot
a tier.
forgot about that.
I'm cool with this one being a C for
I think
sure.
I think C. Yeah.
Luann
Am I?
Saga was kind of a mid episode. I gave this one a 2.5
Yeah.
for the record.
Damn, I am wildly inconsistent on my
But
tiers versus beers.
we'll say C for C Everett Koop.
C for C every coop. Shout out to him.
Moving on, episode 7, West East Side Story, the introduction of the Supernoosen phones. Do you want to guess what you gave this episode?
I think I rated this one really high because I love this Super Nuisance post. Did I give it a 5, maybe a 6?
You gave it a 6.
I did. Yeah, I thought I did.
I gave it a 4.
Wow.
Just
I
I
think
think I knocked it down because of all of the problematic racism and stereotype and
yeah,
xenophobia shit. But it was a really good episode.
I think in my tier ranking here in the all 12 episodes considered, I did put this one in B territory. I could
Yeah.
see it going up into A. It's certainly no lower than a B. Um,
If I were to place it amongst the episodes that we have here, like is it better than Square Peg? Maybe not, but I'd say it's kind of on the same level.
I'd say
Like it's
I'm
not a
comfortable with the
Hank's
B.
Unmentionable Problem. It's not a Luann Saga level. So it's definitely above the C line.
I think the only reason I didn't want to jump it up to A is I didn't think it had very good replayability or like standalone
Yeah,
replayability.
yeah,
Because the Super Nuisance are such an integral part of the show, it would be weird for like a rerun at their introduction, I think.
very
Um,
true.
so I think amongst the 12, it's a B for me for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Moving on to episode 8, Shins of the Father, the introduction of
Shins of the
Cotton.
Father.
Tons of good gags. We recorded this episode 2 times. We still have not released it as of today's recording, but it should be coming out soon because
Hopefully
we
it's out now.
re-recorded it. This is kind of the lost episode,
Uh,
but maybe a favorite. But do you want to know what? I actually don't remember what we gave this
I'm
one.
I'm pretty sure I gave it a
Alamo.
6.
I think it's definitely up there.
Yeah, for me, this was the only S tier of the season for me. Um,
Yeah, I think it's an S tier episode.
I think if you
I
watch
think
it on
there's
this,
another S tier in there for me though, just
oh yeah,
based on my enjoyment from the podcast standing. But
yeah,
hold tight on that.
yeah.
Hold tight on that
I
one,
think
my
it.
friend.
I definitely think it's S tier. Anybody, if you were just flipping channels and you saw King of the Hill, even if you'd never seen it before, this would be
Yeah,
a huge slap in the face shocker episode. It's very funny.
yeah, I think this would be a good like first episode to show someone who's never seen the show before. Like it
Listen up,
kind
you
of
house of hookers.
yeah, it's got the offensive nature of Cotton turned up to 10, but we get a little something from every character, I think, in
Yeah.
this episode. So
Yep.
it's a pretty solid one, pretty memorable. I don't know if I personally like it as an episode as much as Order of the Straight Arrow or even Hank's Got the Willies. Like I thought that the subject matter and the story of those two episodes for me were more likable, but this episode is just like so well written and there's just like constant jokes being
Yeah,
delivered.
yeah.
So I agree.
It's emblematic.
I'd go S as well. Let's go episode 9, Peggy the Boggle Champ. We
Peggy the Boggle
got the
Champ.
mower expert. We got Hank being a dickhead. You gave this a 4
Uh-huh.
in the alley segment, and I also gave it a 4.
For me, this is a B.
I think this is a B. There's some really
Yeah.
good jokes in this one. I love when Hank is trying to like pep talk Peggy the way that his football coach would do it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It just makes her cry
I love when they're driving to Dallas and he's like, we have to get there early before the
before the
gangs
gangs
wake
wake
up.
up. And then also the side plot with Bobby and Luann trying to clean the house was
Yes.
so fucking funny. It was so
Very
weird.
good, very good B plot in this
Yeah,
one for sure. Yeah,
cool.
that was a funny one.
It's a
Solid B.
solid B for the B plot, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 10, Keeping Up with Our Joneses. This is a firm A for me.
This is a firm A for me for sure.
I love this episode. It is so funny. It is also very memorable.
I would almost
You gave this a 4, and I gave it a 4.5.
Interesting. I would almost be tempted to put this one up in the S tier range. I think it could in standalone watchability. It's certainly an A and no lower.
Yeah, I think it might be like a little above the other two. Actually, no. Is it better than Order of the Straight Arrow? I think it's kind of on the same level.
No, I think they're on the same level. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely an A for sure.
let's call it an A. Episode 11. This might be the episode that grew on me the most of the
Yes.
entire season.
Yes. I really liked this one too. I think it you have to look at it kind of hard to get what's going on in it though.
But
Because
I
there's a lot
think
of
we had the most fun with
yeah, I
this
agree.
episode, like talking about the grass, the Rally St. Augustine, talking about Luann rolling around, you picking the ants as your Hill King was, I think, my biggest laugh of the entire season.
Yeah.
That was very funny. Both gave this a 5.
Yeah.
So it was a solid one for both of us, but I'm tempted to put this episode in S.
S, really.
I think
I
this might be my favorite episode of the season.
see, I think in personally, I like this one a whole lot. I think if we're giving this tier list to other people and considering all the other episodes, I have this one in the B territory, actually.
You want to meet in the middle and call it an A?
I think so, or maybe an A minus. And
Okay.
the only reason I'm tempted to call it that is you have to look at it pretty hard to see all what's
Yeah.
going on with
And
it.
it did end very abruptly. I think the biggest problem I had with it was we never really got to see the block party, but if you
Yeah,
remember in the episode, you convinced me that it wasn't about that. It was about
yeah,
these ants trying to get back at Dale
yeah. I think to really
and
get the
controlling
episode, you
Bobby's
gotta
mind.
you got to really look deep to get that one. And I think that's the only reason that knocks it down out of S is
Yeah.
it's not like an obvious everything
Yeah,
that's going
I
on.
only
But
put it there because I had a fun time with my friend.
yeah, yeah,
And
that wasn't
I
part of
can
my
I can
consideration at
tell that you
all.
don't really give a shit about me as a guy, so that's fine.
But I do as a lady.
You okay?
I
That's good
care
to hear.
about you as a lady.
As a woman.
Is
Cool. One more to go, and then we can kind of look at everything as a whole. Plastic White Female, you gave this one a 3, and I gave it a 4. I
yeah.
think that this episode is better than West East Side Story. I think it's better than Peggy the Boggle Champ. I think it's on the same level as Square Peg.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to call this one C or a B minus. Really the ending, I think
Oh
really
yeah,
makes it
fuck
the
the ending,
really
dude.
makes it
Yeah,
tough for me.
you're right.
Um,
It could have been an S tier episode, honestly.
yeah, I think I recall us both being like there was more meat on the table, we felt like with that episode.
Well, it
Um,
just ended with Bobby essentially attacking Nancy for no reason.
yes. Uh,
And that's how the season ends,
yeah, I think
which is
yeah.
kind of wild.
Although we do get a nice finality with Luann. That was one of the only like
Yeah. And we
whole
did
season
both
long
give
eps.
Luann the Hill King.
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
episode,
It's a C.
which was one of multiple times that we both chose Luann as our Hill King.
Yeah.
And a lot of those episodes we do have ranked pretty high.
Yeah, we do.
We
And
tend,
it's
except Luann's Saga, we have that's our lowest ranked, and that's a Luann episode.
yeah, interesting.
But for the record, I wanted to put it higher. I'd put
Yeah.
everything at S.
Yeah, it was there really was nothing in the F range.
No, not
And
even close, really. Like every episode was good.
and I think really the only reason we put Luann's Saga so low is I just feel like there wasn't a ton of great humor
Yeah, it's
there.
not a super memorable episode.
No, it's not memorable at all. Yeah.
Neither
Hank's
is the
on
pilot, like the whole thing of like Bobby getting hit. Like
yeah.
it's just like it just didn't really seem to fit, you
Hank's
know?
unmentionable problem is also a little bit forgettable for me because there's another episode later on in seasons involving Hank's colon and not
With
being able
the
to poop with the art gallery,
I
the
don't
guy.
remember that. I just
Uh
remember the one where he doesn't have a butt, which I am
yeah.
excited to
There's
see.
other problems with Hank's rear end that are better episodes,
Yeah,
I think.
very
Yeah.
true. Okay.
Nice.
How do we feel about this? This firmly crowns Shins of the Father as the best episode of the season. Do we think that that's accurate?
I do think that's accurate. And
I
I,
think
I
so
think
too.
I think there's a good argument for anything in that A tier could, possibly jump up into like those anything in that A tier. Those are
Yeah,
classic King of
and
the
then
Hill
there's
eps.
there's still some pretty classic ones in the B tier as well. And then I feel
Mhm.
pretty confident that these four down here in the C tier are what I would put at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Like I
I'm
had
happy with
fun.
that.
I had a lot of fun with Plastic White Female and Hank's Unmentionable Problem just from our podcast record, like the C. Everett Koop stuff and
Oh yeah,
like
shout out to C. Everett Koop.
talking about my experiences in middle school in episode 12. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah,
as episodes, I think they're not the most memorable. So yeah, I feel pretty good about this as well.
they were all fun to talk about though, and I hope they were fun to listen to, listeners and viewers. We're glad
And
you're here with us.
we hope y'all had a good time with us on the show because we had a wonderful time doing season 1, and we will, in fact, be back for season 2.
We're already having a fun time with season 2.
Yeah, we're recording. I don't know when we're going to start releasing those, but we have an episode recorded with a guest. We did
Ooh,
our first guest ever.
ooh la la. That
And
was
it's
fun.
someone that I think a lot of y'all will know. So it's a notable figure for a lot of the folks
Mhm.
who I think listen to the show.
It's it's Hank Hill.
We got Hank on the
Oh
show.
God, he's got the soundboard back. He
Hey,
stopped sharing his screen and now he's got the soundboard again.
you know what it is.
Whoa. Ooh.
Oh, but that'll do it. That'll do it for the recap of the season. Hope y'all had a good time. Any parting words that you have for the folks out there, Crisp?
No, it's good to have you with us here, nephews. We appreciate you listening, appreciate you watching, appreciate you sending us memes.
We
If
love the
you've got
memes.
fun tidbits or details that we missed, shoot them our way. Catch us in the DMs on Instagram. No,
Yeah,
that's
follow us.
pretty much all
Follow
I got.
us on Instagram and TikTok at Hill Kings Pod. Always remember that we're on YouTube. You can see what we're referencing if you are listening. We have a hell of a lot more audio listeners than we do video watchers.
That's
But we
okay.
appreciate all of you. We appreciate everyone who's listening in the car with a nephew in the back seat.
Yep. Two
Uh,
nephews actually.
a couple nephews.
Yep.
And you are all our nephews.
Mhm.
Leave a review on Apple and Spotify if you can, preferably 5 stars. You
Yeah.
fuckers out there that are giving us 4-star reviews,
Kyle.
you jackass. That hurts
Dick,
us. It
dickhead.
hurts. It hurts us.
We want the machine to think that people like us.
Yes, we want baby billionaires to give us a little bit of that cheese,
We're
but it
trying to
don't
trick a
matter.
math problem.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, reach out. We'll be back for season 2. It's gonna be good. It's gonna
Yep.
be fun, and we're gonna have a good time.
Uh,
Maybe we'll do more quizzes. If you liked the format of this episode, let us know. I think
yep.
it was a fun time.
Yep. Shout out to the Bois podcast guys again for having us on.
Yes. Yes, this
Um,
episode will come out before the one where we did shout them out. So yes,
yeah.
good call.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah. Shout out to Bois. Maybe we'll have those guys on, perhaps.
Yes, yeah,
We can make it work.
hoping season 2 has a few guests. We've got the one in the can, but I'm hoping we can get a few more
Yeah.
people on the show.
Season two is real good. I've been watching ahead a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's like it's the show really starts to roll and pick up. It's very exciting to watch. It's good.
We're about to record my favorite episode of King of the Hill,
Mm,
which is in season 2. So
get ready for that. I'm
stay
excited.
tuned for that. You'll see which one it is. But with all of that, we'll let y'all go. Thanks for watching,
See you,
and we'll see
nephews.
you again next time.
Quack. Quack.
21.
Hill Kings Podcast.
Woof.